So, what was my favorite find of 2016? Let's find out. 2016 was a fantastic year for me metal detecting. Me and my MXT did awesome. I dug a lot of great stuff throughout the year, but there are three in particular that I consider my favorite finds. First one came on January 30th, and that was the gold class ring that I found in that early cabin site. Thomas Clark was absolutely thrilled to get his ring back. He's a man that was down on his luck, didn't have very good health, and that was definitely a high point in his year as well. My second favorite find of the year came on March 12th, and that was my Rosa Americana 2 pence. That came out of a very early cabin site that also coughed up that beautiful whole Latin spoon that I dug. And I think we also got a smattering of Hibernia half pennies as well from the same era. My third and favorite find of 2016 was on April 23rd, and of course, that is my George Washington inaugural button, and that was a beauty. I can dare say that that was one of the better George Washington buttons I've seen done in a while. So let's narrow these down and figure out which one is my favorite. So a bunch of people guessed this as my favorite find of 2016 as well, and it's very unusual to find a gold ring inside a colonial cabin site out in the middle of the woods. I mean, smack dab in the middle. Very unusual. And it was amazing to return that 1971 class ring to Thomas, like I said. That was something that he needed in his life. But it's not my first ring return. It's my first randomly found ring return. I've done a hunt for somebody before, but you see a lot of ring returns, and some of them are even older than mine. So, unfortunately, the gold class ring is not my favorite find of 2016. Alrighty, and my next favorite find of 2016 was the one that most everybody voted for, and that was my George Washington inaugural button. Now, the first three people to guess that were John Ballard, my good buddy Donnie Bailey, and Kim Jameson. Congratulations, you three, but the George Washington inaugural button was not my favorite find of 2016, so we'll put an X through that one as well. Give me a second here to explain. My George Washington button is not my first GWI to appear in one of my videos. My digging partner Danny dug one in 2015, I think, in my Relics in the Rain video. On top of that, on the day that I dug that George Washington inaugural button, I was one of three people who dug one. White's field team member DJ Yost dug one, and a friend of his that I think was only 20 miles away from DJ, John DeRosa, dug one as well. So three of us using White machines dug a GWI button that day. On top of that, Todd Hiltz dug his 8th George Washington button, I think in June of 2016. Dave Wise dug his 12th George Washington inaugural button, I think in November. And just a week or so ago, my buddy Mark Stepanitis that I detect with once in a while, he dug his first George Washington inaugural button this year. So it's a fantastic find. It really is a bucket lister, guys. I have a gorgeous example, and I'm not taking anything away from that find, but the next item is my favorite find of 2016. And that leaves my Rosa Americana 2 pence. Ding! My favorite find of 2016. And a lot of people are going to ask why. This is a fantastically old coin. This is one of the William Woods coins that were made along with his Hibernias. They were only made for a few years, 1722, 1723, which is the year I have, and 1724. These weren't widely accepted tokens. They weren't put into a lot of circulation. I've never seen or heard of anybody digging one. I've seen, I think in the past couple of years, people digging Rosa Americana 1 pences, but just none in the condition that this one came out of the ground in. It's a gorgeous coin. It's a fantastic bucket lister you would never even think is on your bucket list. I doubt I'll ever see one again. I may not even see anybody else dig one again. And for size comparison, there it is next to a large set. And I think like a month or so ago, I saw in Kurt's video where he had the edge of something showing in the hole, and he said it was too big to be a coin. Well, buddy, that's never going to be too big to be a coin because they get bigger. The only person who guessed correctly was Evans LeBlanc. So congratulations, Evans. You're the winner of a 1 ounce silver bar. Shoot me your mailing information here on YouTube, and I will get this out as soon as I can. Thanks everybody for watching. Obviously we're in the middle of videos this week, but I've got something coming up next week for my regular dig, and we'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching.